In this video, I'll share an update on my investment portfolio and how it grew by 2,000 euros in just October. Hello finance people, my name is Robert and I'm here to share with you my learnings and experience about personal finance as a European. So let's jump into my portfolio tracker and I'll explain the situation. And by the way, you can download this portfolio tracker and the link is the first link in the description. So let's start with stocks, and you can see that I have two stocks left. I have Nokia and Microsoft, and in October Nokia did really well. Probably first time in a very long time it had a significant increase, and I'm up by 4%, and that's about 160 euros. Now, one thing did happen to me last month. I still had Amazon here, but what happened actually, I've accidentally sold it already back in August. I just did not notice that. If we look at my transaction history, you'll notice here I've now included the Amazon sale, and I think what's happened is at some point I set a trailing stop loss. I think maybe I said 10% or 12%, and then that means whenever the stock is rising, the stop loss is following it. So that means if the stock drops by 12% at any point, even after it went up, it will then execute the market order and just sell the stock. And that's what happened to me in August. You can see here that in August, beginning of it, there was a big dip, and I saw mine was sold about $166. So I guess somewhere on these days it just triggered that stop loss, and then it sold it. I didn't notice it until a couple days ago when I was going through all my basically all my stocks in different brokers, and you notice that I basically missed out on quite a lot of increase here since I sold it here at 66. It was still profitable sell, so I made money on it, but I could have made much more, and I exited it way too early. So that was a mistake on my side to put that stop loss there, trailing stop loss, and especially because I put it too low, I guess. I don't know why I put it at this point. I think it was quite a long time ago. I just forgot that it's there. But that's what happened, and that's why my stock portfolio right now for the stocks looks quite empty. I have just two stocks there. If we take a look next at ETFs, which is the main meat of my portfolio, you can notice here that was quite stable. My biggest stake is in S&P 500 through the VUSA, and you can see that here we are up by 2%, and that's about 850 euros. Pretty good month, 2% up, always a good month if that just continues. You can notice that the world ETFs are doing a bit less than the S&P 500. Now, this doesn't include all the craziness that's happening right now after the US election, so I'm gonna cover that next month, just so that I wanna see how this situation settles. And speaking of ETFs, I've started a newsletter where I share my thoughts about investing and personal finance from a European perspective. For example, a couple of weeks ago, I dove into whether you should invest in euros or dollars when buying US stocks. If you want to receive the weekly newsletter, just sign up. The link is in the description. So if we take a look at crypto, same thing. I had an increase of 9%, and that's mainly driven by my biggest stake in Bitcoin, which is increased by 12%, and that's 1,000 euros just from Bitcoin. And it looks like also Ripple had a bit of a drop there, 17% decrease, but overall I'm still up by 9% this month, so in October, and in total that's 922 euros. So a good month for crypto in overall. And then if I look at peer-to-peer lending, that one I have a small stake there, but basically that's as every month, it's just going there steady. It's about 40 euros every month. I've noticed that Esketit is producing a little bit higher return on my investment, but Mintos is almost on the same par. This is just going, nothing to report here, nothing interesting to report here. And then if we look at overall, you'll notice that my stock grew by almost 2,000 euros. That's 3.3% increase just in October. So I went from 59,000 to 61,000 euros. And I have some money on the sidelines just because that Amazon got sold. So I need to reinvest that. I think I'll do this within the next 3 months. I want to see if I can find another stock. Maybe part of that money I'll invest also in more in S&P 500. Overall, great month, especially especially because S&P 500 had a flat month, whereas my portfolio grew by 3%. But this is how it goes. A couple past months, I actually have been under the S&P 500 and now I'm over, so it kind of balances out in the end. So I don't know about you, but when I started investing, I felt very anxious about stock investing. It got to the point where market fluctuation would influence my mood for the whole day. But then I discovered a few methods to better cope with it. That's why I created this video right here, where I'll explain 6 methods that help me get rid of my anxiety related to investing.